Hello, my dears. Welcome to part 4? I think it's part 4. Maybe it's part 5 of the bed tutorial. So, last time we spoke, I had the bed made and I had one blanket for it. And that's now got cat hair on it. And I'm going to make some cushions. So, one thing I've noticed, yeah, the bed does do this. It's because it's fabric glued to fabric, but it's really well attached, so it's normally fine. But these legs are very, which I hadn't realized, would just be a bit wibbly. They're really well glued on, but they're just a bit, so it is a bit, it's, but it's fine. I was thinking I could even, if I wanted to make it stiffer, or get straight pins and pop them in the ends so they work kind of like nails. If you are concerned with the wibbliness, if you have wibbliness, maybe that's something I'll work on for the future, how to have less wibbliness in a bed. But that's not going anywhere. That's all pretty secure. So, now today I'm going to make some little cushions. So, I need my surface for ironing. I need what's left of my quilt batting. I need a circle template because I'm going to make a circle cushion. Great minds think alike, Deb. I was totally thinking some sort of circle cushion with a button would be lovely. And then I think that's what you were saying. You posted and said, maybe a circle cushion. So that's what I'm going to do. Circle cut out. Iron it. I had this long strip of quilt batting, so I figured that's what I would use to stuff the pillow. I folded it over a few times so that it was just big enough for me to cut the same size circle from the quilt batting. So I just held it down and cut around the edge. Once you've got your quilt batting cut out, take your circles and place them both right sides up. On one of them, take some glue and draw the letter C on around the edge of one of the circles. You want to leave a little space so you can bag your cushion out. So just a little space there is all you need. And then I just gave it a little press so I could heat set the glue. That's just so I could work on it faster. Let's just put these ones aside and I'll work on them when it's completely dry. Next, let's move on to the rectangular cushion. Of course, let's give it a little press. It's my favorite thing to do. Now I'm going to take the glue here and I'm supposed to run it up the edges. Instead, I ran it all the way around. I made a big mistake, but I was able to salvage it.
For
here's where I realized I made my mistake. Luckily, the glue wasn't completely dry, and I was able to ease it back open there. So, of course, I didn't pay attention, and I put glue all the way around the edge rather than go up to here and here and leave this side open. I didn't do that. I glued it all the way around, and then I ironed it shut. So I've had to pull it apart. Just right there. That should be fine. And I'll re-glue it afterwards. That is the wonders of tacky glue there. So the next step is I've made this rectangle pillowcase. So I have to stuff it. So this is basically about the same amount of stuffing that I would need to stuff it. So I'm just going to use what's left of this. And that should work well. Now this one's fairly dry, so I'm just going to do it. Just going to do it. Making it sound like I'm not there for you. So once I've got it stuffed, I go in and just use my pencil. I'm just popping out my corners there, make them a bit sharper. Now that I've got it stuffed, I'm just going to fold it like I did with the edges of the blanket yesterday, or in the last video, which I filmed yesterday. And then I'm gonna give it a little press. It's a bit awkward because there's so much stuffing in there. I just want to make sure that that edge stays under. Now, I'm going to run glue along the edge here. There we go. You kind of pull it and stuff it. That should help you get those edges together. There. If any of the wool is sticking, or the stuffing is sticking out in the end, you can just trim it. Pinch them together. And stick a few pins in it. You could even use clothespins or something to hold it together if you wanted to, if you didn't have pins or didn't want to stick pins in, or but as it's the tacky glue, it's basically holding itself together already. I'll put those in just for an added measure. And there, that is a completed pillow. So I'm going to do the same sort of thing with the rest of this fabric. I think 2 more should be good. So I've got these 2. Oh, look at that. It's almost the repeat of the pattern. Lovely. So I'm going to give them a press. I'm going to run some glue around the edge.
I don't stand a chance without you, girl. It's not like you have to be somewhere right now. Why are you crying? Feels like just a day or maybe two since I last saw you.
Now, with the other ones, I've gotten some stuffing and just put it on the, laid it flat and then pushed it through. This one, I'm going to turn it, because I've got these bits that I should use up. So I'm going to turn this one inside out. And I'm going to use my pencil to push the corners out a bit more. So, as you can see by my glue job, it's not a straight pillow. It'll be fine. So I'm just going to take the stuffing and stick it in for this one.
Now I won't come back around, girl. You're not trying.
Now that I've got it stuffed, there is still some room left in it, but I'm not going to make it that big. I'm going to fold my edge over and underneath. I'm going to give it a little press. And I'll run the glue along the seam. Like that. Pinch it together. And then just give it a bit of a smush about to move the fibers about, the batting about inside. And you've got another little pillow for the bed. I bet this is dry enough now on this one for me to pull the pins out. All right. Let's do the circle one. So you remember I glued it part of the way around. I left an opening. I got some of the quilt batting cut to size, and I laid it flat on. Now, what I do is I open it up. Oh, that's not the opening? I'm sure that's the opening there. I'm practically positive. There it is, yep. So, open it up with the quilt batting on one side, and then push it inside out, pushing the quilt batting through with it. So you're just forcing it all in. And that gets your quilt batting where you want it on the inside of your pillow. Ta-da! Boy, it sure lost its roundedness in the gluing process. Let's see if I can get something a little softer to push that out with. So now I'm going to try to iron sort of a round crease in it. Wish me luck. If you can think of a better way to do this, I'd love to know all about it. sort of got those edges, looking like edges. I've got to glue them together. This is not at all going to be as easy as it is on the pieces with corners.
Feels like just a day or maybe two since I last saw you, but now
Once I've got it glued, start having to pinch it together. So look at how untidy it looks already. Maybe more of a misshapen egg pillow than a circle pillow. All right, well, I've tried. At least I tried. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to get a button. And we'll put a button on it.
I think about your day and ask you how it is. Why are you being cruel when we could have all this in the drive-thru? Order my food. Let's stay up all night. Let's read.
So, it's a bit of a failure. I wouldn't necessarily call it a success, but it's the basic idea. I can try it again with other things. I will try again, absolutely. But there's my roundish pillow that's a little bit pinched in the middle. I'm going to do this one the same way I did the last one. So I'm going to get to that now.
And we're alright in the drive-thru. I'm in love with you. Now I know what I should do.
And there we go. A little bed for a little head. And the worst pillow tutorial of all time. I'll work on that. I'll get better. I'll come back stronger. But in the meantime, look how cute my little bed is.